Okay, this is just gonna be like a short guide on how to do Feet Lightning Boost, because it's like kind of a confusing trick for like all the little things you can do wrong. So this should like help people understand all the little things you have to do in order to make this work, because there are like quite a few little things that, depending on how you do it, will make this trick impossible. And I'll also be showing like a backup you can do if you messed up like the very first part of the trick and it only loses like a few seconds. So first I'll just show like what the trick looks like. So you're gonna wanna grab this lightning super speed power up, and then you're gonna wanna reset as soon as you can, because that'll maintain like all the speed you have essentially, which is what makes this possible. So here's the full trick. And then you are able to talk to Pete even though you're like pretty far away from him. So, like, the most important thing is as soon as you grab this, you have to reset immediately. If you do it too early or if you do it too late, this will not work. So, I'll try to like get the exact frame I get it on, but if I just go forward a few frames, I think it's that frame. Yeah. So this frame, I actually jump into it so that I'm able to reset and then just like re-hold spacebar again rather than just like moving forward into it, and then it's a little more complicated with I have to let go while I'm resetting, then re-press the spacebar. So I just like ollie into it. It's a bit better that way because you're able to not be holding space, then reset, and then as soon as you reset, then you can hold space again. But you could see this frame. There's this one frame where I've ollied into it and now I have it. And then the next frame I've reset. So this is like as soon as I could do it basically. But once I do that, I have I'm not sure how many frames it is until I'm like actually holding ollie. I don't know if you can really see that. But basically as soon as you reset, I have started holding ollie. And that's a crucial part. I'll show like another clip where I don't do that and like how far off I am from actually getting it. But yeah, so I guess the game's UI shows I'm holding it there, but I'm definitely holding it earlier. But the second important part here is that you want to turn right to adjust yourself, because from this angle you're just going like up left, and so you're not really gonna be getting on the rail at the right time. So um you could see like I start turning to align myself with this, but I don't actually get it onto the rail until like way later there. So like I'm going straight here still, going straight here. Then I like kind of do one tap to the right. And I do another tap when I'm like pretty close to the rail on this like left side. But then I don't actually get on it until like this gray part here. And then once you've done these two steps, you're like basically good to go. I would only adjust right twice, because if you adjust too early or you adjust too many times, you're gonna lose all your speed and then you won't make it. But then from there, okay, you too. From there, you wanna ollie like pretty late so they can get the most distance. And then I'm just like ollieing to the right basically. And then as soon as I get close, I just start spamming my interact button. For me, it's V, but I think it's like D for most people. And so, like, that's all the kind of key components that make this possible. I'll show what, like, this is a late reset. So you can, like, kind of see the difference in speed. So, like, let's do a frame analysis again. So I've grabbed it there. Maybe I've grabbed it. Okay, so there's one frame, there's another frame, another frame. Like, there's a bunch of frames there. So I've already grabbed it, and so the speed's already moving me before I've even reset. And then I start going. So I've already wasted like almost 10 frames of speed at this point. So I'm like not even close because I've just lost all my speed there. So it's important to not grab it and wait a bit and then reset. You have to reset like as soon as possible and start going. And that's like one of the main issues that can happen to people, but this is like more common, I would say. Well, the other one's common too, but this one's more common is that you will get the reset, but you won't start moving right away. So I'll show what that looks like here. So you can see I didn't start moving immediately there. So again, wasted speed, and this one's gonna be a bit closer, as you can see, but because I wasted all that speed at the start, it's just not going to make it there. So like I said before, being able to reset as soon as you grab it and then go as soon as you can and start moving forward, that's going to be like the most important part. And if you don't get that, then automatically you should not go for the trick because you will not make it no matter like how well you do the little adjustments at the end to conserve your speed and get on at the right time. You just won't make it because you don't have the initial speed you need. So if any of those kind of versions of failing the trick happen, then you should just go for this, which is you're going to reset, and then you could just take this line over here. And it only loses a few seconds. It's not hard to do, and it's like easy to just back up if you mess something up with actually doing the trick. You can also just not do this trick and do that, and that's pretty good. But if you notice that you did something wrong, it's super easy to just back it up with this. You like technically, let me just draw this here. But you could technically like take this line here, but you have so much speed that's really hard to like make this turn. So I would advise just doing this like kind of longer thing, and you can like conserve your speed. And like you see in the clip, I do like this ollie up, and then you start grinding this rail up here. But I would really just like take this line instead of doing this line. Like that's just a bad line. Um, but yeah, it's like a good backup to just do, even if you aren't going for the main trick. And I forget exactly how much it loses, but this was the old route before we did this trick, and so like you just have like extra speed, so it's just like better. But yeah, once again, for the things to be looking at, resetting at the right time, starting to move as soon as you can, and then just doing those small adjustments at the end, and then keeping all your speed. And I forget if I mentioned it, but as soon as you actually get on the rail, I'll just like open the successful one, but as soon as you actually start grinding the rail, you start like decreasing in speed like immediately. So that's why you want to get it on it as late as possible. Because when you're on the ground with the speed, that's when you're getting like the most momentum. But as soon as you get on the rail, you just start losing the momentum. And so I would just get on as late as possible so you can keep all the momentum. And then if you do that, then you're just gonna make it. And yeah, I mean, that's it basically. Hope this can help with getting this trick more consistent.